Hi, Hikin' Jim here. Welcome to another episode of Adventures in Stoving. What you see here right in front of you is the burner from a jet bowl Sol. It's the whole setup. And you'll notice that the flame is really, really low. What's going on? Okay, so it's a cold burning. It's about 40 Fahrenheit, which is about 5 Celsius. It's a cold burning. The canister that I've got running the stove right now is 100% butane. It is not isobutane, it is regular butane. The canister is sitting directly on some stone flagging. The stones are very cold. It was freezing last night. There's a little puddle next to me. The puddle is rimmed with ice, and so I know it's cold. So if you've got 100% butane sitting on cold stone flagging on a cold morning, you're going to get crap for canister pressure. That's just how it is. So what do? Well, I've got a little bit of flame, and the flame was actually a little bit stronger when I first turned on a canister, but obviously the canister cools as you run it, so the canister's losing pressure as you run it. So now all I've got is just a little weak thing that looks like a candle flame. So what you can do is, with what water you've been able to heat so far, you can put some water into a plastic bowl from the pot. So you take the hot water that you've got so far, put it in a plastic bowl, and you put the stove into the plastic bowl. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift up the jet bowl here. Now you want to be careful when you do this. If you use water that's too hot, warm is fine, but if it's too hot to the touch, that's probably too hot. You could cause the canister to flare, or the stove to flare, although with a regulated burner like in a jet bowl Sol, you would hopefully be safe, but I don't know, I'd still want to be careful. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the stove here, and I put a bowl of water that I've heated with the stove, and I put the canister into the hot water, and voila! I've got what looks like a normal flame all of a sudden. So this is just a way to deal with cold weather. With what pressure you have in your canister, you heat some water. When you get that water heated up a little bit, you take a bowl or some other container, put the water into the bowl, then you place the canister in the warmed water, and suddenly your stove will run as normal rather than running with just a little tiny candle flame. So I actually probably have more pressure now than I can use, because the canister is warm enough, and so I'm actually probably going to get a boil. In fact, I can see my water is now boiling. So whereas I did not have enough pressure to boil the water, and I haven't changed the valve at all. All I've changed is the temperature of the canister by putting hot water around it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off now because my water's boiling. But anyway, that's how you deal with cold weather with a canister stove. You heat the canister by using warm water, not hot. You get your pressure back, then you can continue on your way with cooking. Well, anyway, that's an episode of Adventures in Stoving. I'm Hikin' Jim. Thank you for joining me.